Oh, yes. You know what the static means. It means we're live. Hello. Greetings and salutations, my friends. Ian here with Ian. I'm just going with Ian today, just to make it simpler. Oh, I've got something. Oh, the video on YouTube was not muted, but that happens from time to time. Good morning, Sketch. Good morning to y'all that are in the wings there. Say hi in the chat if you feel like it. But welcome to each and every one of you. Let me just give it a little stretch here. Oh man, the pits is looking a little sandy there, or a little jelly. I was warming up here for the day. Sorry about that. All right, unstable molecules. Welcome. Thank you for being here, buddy. Aloha. All right, so before I proceed, I should probably close out these projects. I got some research I've been doing for a client, getting that information over to them today. Getting kind of excited about the possibilities. I'm pitching some high concept stuff that involves procedural design. So hoping that they am able to excite their interest about like sort of the uniqueness of working with procedural design as sort of a, as a permanent art installation for their building. Try to get them to be as excited as I am about the novelty of building illustrations that way. So let's see what they say. All right, but until that time, such as, okay, so making sure my system works there. Everybody can hear me all right? Oh yeah, I know you, Harry, brother. I just like it's easier to call you the name that's on the screen, but what's up, bro? You and your everybody feeling better at your house? I hope so. I know you guys were having a little something last week. All right, let's see. Okay, I want to get some. What do we want to do? Well, let's start off simple today, right? I'm going to fire up Blender here, and I want to make some. I want to make some content changes to the Cousins system, and that one's pretty straightforward. The code is a little bit of a mess, but I think we can work it out one way or another. All right, just slide this into the display region of my screen. I don't even know why I deleted those. Just felt like the right thing to do at the time. Let's see. Do I have it? Cousins 8 factory. Don't save. See, there was no point. Whatever. I should have just saved it and made it the default since I'm deleting them so often. All right, but that's just how it goes sometimes. All right. What we're going to do here is we're going to dig in and make some changes to the rules to get it generating, reliably generating new kinds of imagery, or at least that's the goal. So let's see what is hooked up in this scene. This is my factory version of the scene, so it should be able to output. Well, I think first things first, actually. Well, let's just make sure it's working. Yeah, okay. So the grammar is firing fine. I don't. Well, it didn't actually fire the second time I clicked it, so. Maybe it's not fine. That's fine, though. It's fine that it's not fine. We can find out what's wrong with it. There we go. Okay, sweet. I'm assuming that it's a little slow at first because it's like loading new models. Ooh, this is the double mohawk guy. Or no, triple mohawk. Holy crap. I have these big heads that I put in a while ago that kind of make like childlike proportions on the head or on the characters, but they don't fit into the scenes very well. So I thought I'd get in here and dink around with those settings. And actually, while I'm at it, I want to make sure that my palette swap is working. It seems to be. Okay. And then I think the lights are also working, but I'm not looking at the output of the lights right now because it's just a little slow at the moment. All right. So save as. Now that we know it works, let's go to, I don't know, what's in this directory here. Source. Okay, this is the source directory. Let's call this Cousins version 9. Cousins V9. Because this is going to be the first set of changes I've made, significant set of changes I've made in quite a while. So we'll just call this Cousins V9 InDev 01. Yeah, It's because I decided to stop fighting my inconsistency when it comes to naming patterns and just go with it in the moment, because at the end of the day, I get all of the basic information in there. I can just never stick to whether it's dashes or spaces or I'm inclined to accept it in myself at this stage. Let's put it that way. All right. So what I want to do here is I want to generate a few of these, and then I want to find some problems to fix. And actually, I think this might work better on this screen. I think I might actually have a little bit more room to work with in this area. I have a new, well, it's not new, but I bought a used Wacom 27 HD, I think. And it is I got a really great deal on it. It's a small to moderate upgrade from my previous one. It's lighter, which is really nice. It's just not such a beast. And it has touch, which I don't know how much I care about, honestly. It does not have the buttons I never use on it, so that's also a benefit. But in any case, I have a little bit more. The point is I have a little bit more real estate down here now. Okay, so let's generate a few more of these and see what kind of traffic jams we get into. So here's one thing: is this just doesn't even fit what we're working with here with the camera. That's not something I'm going to be able to easily fix on the surface, because my system doesn't really have any awareness of like the amount of space it's taking up. I had to disable touch, was driving me nuts. Yeah. Yeah, that was more or less what I decided from the get-go. And occasionally, if I see an opportunity to benefit from it, I'll throw it on. Yeah, the buttons are where is this thing? Yeah, the buttons are over here. Now, I thought they were magnetic, but they're so weakly magnetic that you could never really trust them to stay on here. So I don't know what the deal with that is. But yeah, the magnetism just ain't good. So whatevs. I just don't use that either. If I decide that there's a benefit to it, it's always there waiting for me, winking like an oasis in the night. All right. Is that Oasis? What Oasis do? All right. Oasi. The point is, we've got these characters, and we want to procedurally generate more of them. Okay, so let's find some problems. The camera one we can't readily fix. I mean, I guess I could go smaller on the overall scale of dem heads. Don't scuff up them heads. All right, so prototype, target, rules. There's a lot of rules here. That's what we're dealing with. Okay, I haven't been disciplined about switching between these and configuring things lately. In fact, I want to take the whole system. So right now it uses view layers. I think that's what these are called, is view layers. Let me hover over this, the active workspace view layer. Yeah. So a view layer is just a set of toggles like render this, show this in the viewport, make this selectable, da-da-da-da. I'm not sure exactly. There is a render flag and a viewport visible flag, I am pretty sure, per view layer, right? And then that sits on top of the scenes, which sit on top of the overall file. I actually want to update this to basically just use alternate scenes for each of these. Oh, goodness. See, like this scene may indeed be very messed up, because this might just be... Yeah, I'm not clear on what this even is, to be honest, right now, because I hadn't previously configured this. I'm surprised I'm even seeing it. It probably means that somehow scenes are getting duplicated, and all this stuff is also duplicated between scenes, is my guess. We should probably get rid of these, honestly. Let's get rid of them and see if it causes a problem, you know? Because my guess is they're just adding heft to the scene that needn't be added. I'd have to go look at the blend file itself, which is fairly easy to do, by the way. This is your outliner, but you have other views that you can access in the outliner here. Schneerp. Let's see, open that up. So scenes view layer, blah, 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 blah. So we can look at Blender file here. So this is all of the elements from the various from the Blender file that can be mixed and matched between all the scenes. Anything that's sort of like a high-level object, like a texture or a shader or a model, etc., is represented here, which is really handy if you need to go find something in the sort of like at the grand macro scale. At first, I'm like, where the hell is the material browser in this? And I guess it's getting better in Blender 3. I have not cracked Blender 3 yet. I thought I'd wait and focus on 293 while I have it set up the way I like it. But I understand that we're getting some new ways of interacting with this type of data, which is great, because for the longest time, I'm like, why can't I find a list of the materials in the scene? It just didn't seem intuitive to me. In any case, all right, let's switch back and focus on what we're doing. So this is a view layer view. We got rules here. Rules! We got some rules around here. What does he say? The second shelf of the refrigerator is mine. Oh, he's from New England. So no, but he's from New England, but he's in California, Santa Carla, right? He sounds like he's from the Northeast, but it's mine. Don't touch my that's why I keep my root beers and my double stuffed Oreo cookies. Let's see, Sketch says, I've actually been trying to gather courage to do some Minecraft stuff in Blender, sort of like series trailer, that sort of thing, but I don't know, I have no idea about any of it. Well, start small. You know how to do this, brother. I know you're feeling fear. This is my guess. I won't say I know, because look, I never met you in real life. I never got to slap you around a little bit. So the point is, I think you're feeling fear, and it's hard to manage. And, look, maybe it's not manageable, but I think it's what you're feeling. And maybe if you contextualize it as like, it's an act of courage to open this up and do the set of very small goals, smaller than imaginable. Like, I'm going to get one Minecraft block into Blender, and I'm going to take another Minecraft block and use physics to drop it. Like maybe that's enough. What's something, like you're having a hard time saying yes to starting a series trailer, because that's huge and requires a ton of knowledge and is very likely to fail. In the sense of like not getting finished, because it's just more than you can possibly, I know you can imagine how much it is because you've studied this stuff. So instead of saying no to that, which is what's happening, I'm thinking, say yes to something teensy weensy, but gets you on the track, lets you put one boot in front of the other. Something to consider. Let me know what you think. All right, let's see. The lights. Doesn't seem to matter if those are on. Okay, this output is off. Good, that's what we need. We want output off. We don't need, I don't think frame number is reflecting what we're doing here anyway. All right, so cousins group. So who wants to learn how these, take just that scalpel. Elephant won't even notice. By the time the elephant notices what's going on, it'll be this hideous scene of a degloved leg. And people are going to be like, why are you eating that elephant alive? Nobody specified alive. That's just what my brain gave me. So we just got to get what we can get. I've gotten a scene around 32 chunk diameter set in. No idea where to go from there. All right. So you've got it set in. Is it rendered? Let me see what it looks like. Post a picture somewhere that I can see of a render of what you've got. I'll give you an idea. Or I'll try. No, I can do that. All right, so cousins group. Here's how this shit works. In my system, as of now, it just uses names to decide what to do. So each of these rules has a name, and you'll notice that they're surrounded by underscores. That's how my system determines what a rule collection is. It's like, oh, if it's got the underscores and it's under rules, then it must be a rule. And I don't know why. And probably I could just have said, oh, if it's under rules, that'd be sufficient, right? But I didn't think of that at the time. Eat the elephant in small bites. I haven't eaten that bite yet. All right. So this is the target. This is where it outputs everything that actually is the cousin that we're seeing and rendering. And down here, oh, no, excuse me. Maybe I'm using, sorry, this might be an older system. I don't know if this one uses target or if this one uses output. I believe output is my new standard. So let's actually see what happens if I delete. Oops. Oh, that was possibly a mistake. Let's undo that if we're allowed. A delete linked, I believe, was not the correct thing to do. So let's just delete hierarchy, which just deletes the symbolic representation, all that stuff. And I believe if I do this, delete this hierarchy as well, it'll only remake one of those. And if it remakes both, then I guess I'll have to go and learn what the deal is right now. So yeah, just created output. So output is the correct one. We didn't need target. That was just some legacy material from another version of the scene. Okay, so we have output, we have rules, we have prototype. Prototype, you ask? Well, he answered, The prototype is what determines what it's the starting point for generating the output of the system. So prototype over here, you'll see it contains, let's open this up right here, cousin group, lights, and backdrop. It's gotten very simple. It used to be much bigger. In fact, by default in these systems, the systems are usually flat. Like the ones I do on Modern Weirdos are flat because we don't have time to do a bunch of branching stuff. So it's just one of these, one of these, one of these, one of these, one of these. So the prototype tends to look like a finished dude. In this case, let's turn off output. This is all the prototype is. And then this red thing is actually an artifact of the camera, which I believe for some reason last time I was in Blender, I could not turn off this focal plane here. So we'll see if that's still the case. Motion blur? No, that's not right. What are we doing? Oh, yeah, we got to be down here on the camera properties. This data block, camera data block, depth of field. Yeah, hide focus. That button disappeared previously. So Blender can be a strange animal at times, but you got to eat it one bite at a time. All right. Okay. So what we can do to determine what any of these prototype elements does is we just follow the names. All right. So here's a name. Cousin group. All right. So we'll switch back to the view layer of rules that will one day become the scene of rules. And that hides the prototype layer and it shows the rules layer. And each one of these view layers remembers how you had the visibility configured. So you can easily get to what you want. But in any case, starting with the cousin group, we see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 options. Okay. Now, I think one of the problems I'm having is that my system has no way to like properly distance the characters from one another based upon the size. They just get instantiated, meaning they get copied from one place in my file to the visible place in my file one at a time, according to whatever the naming is. And it takes up however much space it takes up. They don't have any awareness of each other. They're naively placed into the scene. And what we got to do is, I guess we'll clean the scene up and try to make it work for the kid cousins. And maybe we'll make them, we'll just make a little bit more room for everything. And then depending on if I get like excited about cousins again, we'll expand it a little bit more next time. I want to get back to Mildudes as well. There's only 6 Mildudes in the wild right now. I think 4 are still available for like 3 TEZ. So, if you're in that sort of world, that's something to consider. But more of those are coming as we develop the system further. I've been underwater with client stuff for a little while, but that's starting to smooth out again. So I expect my next client job will utilize more of this stuff and something that I be able to do on the show, at least in part. All right, let's see here. Rules, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so the deal is whenever in the prototype it encounters a cousin group, it will replace it with one of these elements, which you will also notice have underscores, meaning that they also get replaced with something and so on down the line until everybody is happy. So let's see. Here is cousin group junior 1, which is just, I guess that's one of 2 that I have that produce. Yeah, so I have cousin junior, and I'll bet you these automatically produce the kiddos. Yeah, I have a cousin junior stuck in here as well. Yeah, okay. So what we'll do now is we'll just follow this further up the line. Let's see. Where is cousin junior? There he is right there. So cousin junior can actually only be one thing right now. And cousin junior has the head junior, and that's where we get into the big-headedness. So this is the source. This is the alpha of all, the matriarch of all big heads in the scene. So if we want the big heads to potentially be smaller, I would assume that would involve making this head smaller. Now it looks like I have actually not. This head looks like it's a normal sized cousin head, but I'll bet you if we open up the head junior box, we will discover what lies within. Head junior is just this big one right here, and then it's got brows and ears and all these different possible alignments and possibilities. Let's see what this one looks like. Head junior. Well, that's interesting. Now I'm starting to wonder, because that doesn't look oversized. Well, I know that it works this way, so I just have to remember exactly what the situation is. I'm just curious as to where it's actually getting properly scaled, because this doesn't look like a junior head to me. It might be a thing. Oh, let's take a look at the actual scales of these objects. So, yeah, see, this is scaled up a hair in few dimensions, and then let's take a look at this one. This is also scaled up. So they're scaling. Okay, I think what's happening here is actually they're scaling each other, which makes you end up with a fairly large head for where the pieces are. All right. So let's turn off Cousin Junior and Cousin Groups, just so we're looking at just Head Junior here. And then, I don't know where each of these at. Okay, so I seem to have like weird scales all over the place, which I think is going to lead to some confusion in this system. I'm not going to try to fix it right now. Oscar, welcome back to the show. And just how are you doing today, Oscar? I'm doing excellent. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming by the show, and I know you guys can be doing a bazillion different things with your time. So the fact that you think it's cool to come over here and hang out, listen and talk, chat, ask questions, I value that greatly. So thank you very much. And do feel obliged to ask questions in the chat. Okay, so Head Junior gets replaced with elements from these, and then it picks the eyes and the head. Okay, head shape. So you can see that it's getting scaled again here, and then it's probably getting scaled yet again in head shape. So that's why it's been difficult to troubleshoot. So we may actually want to simplify this thing before. Maybe I'll just rebuild like the cousin groups. Maybe I'll rebuild those, because there are several that are sort of like compositional, right? They kind of they suggest an arrangement, and then the cousins get built up each individually within that arrangement. Let's see here. Oh, interview Thursday. Okay. All right. Good to know. All right. No stream for Modern Weirdos tomorrow, if you unless I send out a notice that there is a stream. But it sounds like it's going to be canceled for tomorrow due to staff inavailability. All right. Okay. So let's generate some more of these. Now that I've gone on and I've refreshed my memory, which I value very much, let's go ahead and look at this output here and generate some more of these and see where they're giving us trouble and see what we want to cut from this. It's just random legacy grammar here. So here we go. This has got no kids in it, just adults. And I can't see, here is a kiddo by himself. And look, the head is just freaking enormous. All right. So it's a little much in the head size department. It doesn't, I'd have to, where's my camera? I have to readjust the camera for each of these. Also, you know what I should start doing? I should start flipping these to the other side, so they can look at the content. Strummer of the Void. Thank you very much, Mr. McLeroy. Glad you could be here. Thanks for saying hi, bud. I appreciate it. So I want to dial that down the size of these. By the way, I'm considering upping my number of streams per week. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. That seems likely. I have to build it up slowly, though. So maybe I will replace the stream tomorrow. I'll let you guys know on Twitter and on the various Discords. So FYI, if I end up doing that, those will be the places to look. Okay, so let's. This head is too big for me. It's problematically large. Let's go in here, and based upon what we looked at before, I'll bet you we can just start dialing back those scale factors. And let's go to rules. Now, Cousin Junior has a head that is scaled thusly, right? And then it just keeps going from there. So what I'm trying to decide now is so Head Junior, and then here's Head Junior, right? Within that is head shape, which is the actual head portion of this. And then head shape is up here, and that picks from a few different shapes, and I'll bet you all of those. Okay, gratefully, these do not have a silly scale factor on them. So this one has a very slight rotation that I wasn't expecting, but in any case, all right. So having tracked it thusly, well, I'm just going to dive in here. Since this would be the next furthest one back, let's just take head shape. It's funny when you're like doing sort of the archaeological rediscovery of your own system. All right, so let's scale this as such. Now this is head junior. You would want this to be sort of where the beginning of the head proportional distortions would be. So I'm debating now whether I should be sort of like going back and scaling this at every level. In fact, I kind of want to do that. Why not? This is part of the ADD experience. You get struck with an idea, and before you've thought it through, you're doing it. And sometimes you just have to embrace that and learn the most you can from it. I try not to fight it except for in driving situations, or if somebody has entrusted me with heavy machinery, which I desperately try to avoid. All right, so we've reduced the scale here. And of course, cousin group gives rise to cousin. So let's also, while we're at this impulsive avenue of affectation, let us search through the cousin, and let's actually work on that one as well. So here's one called head tilt, which gratefully is at 1.0 all the way through. Okay, now head tilt is what can give the characters a little bit of like a little attitude with their head orientation. Right now, this is the only way I have to implement this. In the future full versions of Cousins, so like a new full development release, I have a way to address this a lot more cleanly. But for now, it just utilizes the language of Cousins, which are these stacks of interconnected grammars. All right, so let us continue up the chain. All right, Cousins, head tilt, that one's fine. So we go to head tilt, and these are also in good shape. Excellent, excellent. So head tilt gives rise to head. I think we all understand how that works. So where is head? Head is here. And let us look at the head shape and see that, okay, for the adults, everything is, not in all cases. Okay, so I have, this is where the heads would diverge. I see. Interesting. I guess I have to have children on a separate chain in this system, because they will, I guess chain's not a great, branch is probably a better word, because they require smaller bodies as well. So right now that's not, I cannot fix that for this system. Okay, so headed back down to Cousin Junior here. We've got these to 1.0s, but you would expect that Head Junior would be the place where Head started getting cray-cray. So that's where we're going to put it. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make sure that I check up the chain too. Head shape, we just checked that, I believe, but let's make sure. Yes, that is my recollection is correct. Okay. So we can make as many of these Head Juniors as we want. Let's make, this is the correct place to apply these scale factors. So let's just fill this out widthwise, and then let's man, I wish I had a better way to force certain branches to turn off. That's going to have to be in a future version of this system as well. So it's S, and let's see, we need to X. Oh, wrong elements. Let's take the head shape there, because that's actually what I want to change. S and X to scale widthwise. There we go. Now, should this particular hair shape be amongst the children? I think they should not, perhaps. But hair cannot be selected from among different variations unless I make a Hair Junior right now. I think I would like to move forward for the moment. So we'll hold off on that. And instead, let's see here. What's going to be a quick and easy way to... Well, first of all, let's just start generating some of these. Rather than trying to anticipate a problem, let's see if there is a problem. I'm sure that I'm going to want to adjust their overall head scale more once we start seeing how these come out. But for now, let's just generate that legacy grammar there, get ourselves a nice view. Random legacy grammar. Ooh, why is it so slow sometimes? Did I miss the button? Nope. Okay, there's a kid. Okay, that was an acceptable kid head size. Let's put this in the camera frame. Whoa! Blender thinks not, unfortunately. Okay, well, we'll have to do some rework there. Hopefully we can recover the scene. Blender autosaves like every couple minutes. So recover last session, okay. No, this is not the session that we were just having, Blender. I don't know if you noticed. Open recent. Let's see, recover, autosave. And let's see, 10:45, 12:30. Today, there we go. All right, we have reloaded the file, and let's just see if it has retained my changes. Let's look at rules and head junior, and where's the old head there? Head shape. There we go. Okay. Yes, this is retaining changes. Good. Okay. All right. So let's head back to the output. And then let's save this file. There we go. And let us continue generating. I wonder. Okay. Yeah. So this is a good, much more manageable head shape for the kids. This is not a manageable hair for the kids, although I think that it's kind of funny, so maybe that's all right. This one needs to be lower. So let's see, can we figure out, it's not easy to figure out, you just have to know which ones are which when it comes to the cousin groups. And it's been a while, so we'll just have to go in here and troubleshoot this right now in this cousin group. Alrighty then, let's roll that out and start looking at which ones are which. Turn this one off and start. Now we got to turn on the overall rules. You should be visible. Okay, cousin group needs to be visible. There's the issue there. Okay, well, it's not this one. So, I don't know. It has to have a junior in it, or it's, yeah, okay, so the junior is just way too high. There we go. And just adjust these a little bit, see how it comes out. The tilts and adjustments, they will be changed further down the line by the grammar, so we don't have like an immense amount of local control, but I kind of like it that way. I think that's part of the fun. All right. Oh, my back. Ka-chunka-munka. All righty here. Let's see. Go to the output. That looks pretty good. Now let's see. I like even doing that second time if I can avoid it. Oh yes. Random legacy grammar. All right. Now let's just crank through some more of these. Okay, so we still have a situation in this case where the head can just be way, way too big. And I suspect this is an issue of scaling the body. Now that I've seen this scenario, rules. So let's go. Yeah, see, this one only has one item in it. So I know this is the troublemaker right here. So yeah, this issue is just too big. And that's, that scales the head up, which is then scaled by itself and da-da-da-da-da-da, and it just all piles down. It all piles on. All right, so there's another issue shot down. Actually, let's, this keeps bothering me because we removed any need for the target group. So why do we still have a target view layer? Okay, so if I had a way to regenerate this one specifically again, that would be useful. However, what this does under the hood, though, is it just runs them, it just picks like a random, 25-digit number and uses that for the seed, as I recall. So it's a little unruly. What we could do instead, though, and it makes it a little easier to troubleshoot, so let's just do that, is what we do is we hit new grammar on scrub, and now it runs the algorithm based upon using this as the input number, so that in principle, now there are some bugs, but in principle, we should get the same result on the same number in every case. So we'll see how that ends up going. Now, cousin Junior has a very, very short neck here. And he's still pretty big, honestly. Why is he still so big? Now, here's what I'm wondering, is if there's a stack of scaling happening here as well. So make sure we have the correct one selected. Let's head over to the rules again. Okay, so yeah, this actually does not show you correct values if the object is invisible, which is good to know. Indeed, very good to know. All right, and let's see, 0.9.9.9. Well, let's see what this is doing further down the line before we start adjusting. This is how we got into trouble in the first place. That's right, I'm throwing you under the bus as well. So here, torso is also scaled down. So hold on a second here. Let's turn this off. Turn on Cousin Junior. And notice that the head Junior is extremely tall, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. But the torso is getting scaled. Now, head Junior is getting scaled among the heads, which sort of makes sense to me, right? Because when I add more head Juniors to this category, I can have individual scales. So I can have like the big wide-headed kid and the tall, skinny-headed kid, but will have the overall body torso-head proportion. And that prevents me from getting into a situation where I can only define one proportion here. But on the other hand, it makes some amount of sense to just say, okay, well, the head is always a little bit bigger than the body, and then set the torso scale in the cousin grouping. I know this is all very exciting and esoteric, but people have asked me how the system works. So this is how the sausage is made, my friends, and that is what I can offer at this time. All right, so let's take the shirt here, and let's grab both of them, I guess, at this stage, and 1, 1, 1. Okay. Come on now. There we go. Oh yeah, that's too small. Let's see. I suspected treachery. Oh, I see. Well, in this case, okay, so torso pokes through sometimes and doesn't poke through at other times. Okay, this is all pointing toward a desperate need to refactor this system overall. Let's see. I've given up trying to direct myself too effectively. Trying to say, you have to do this in your art practice tomorrow. So we'll have to see what I'm able to muster. But I do feel like I could get back into building up the next generation of this system in the near future. I think I got to do Mildudes. In earnest first, because it's the one that needs TLC right now. Cousins is a little bit more developed, and Mildudes is not yet getting its it's got like its 1.0, right? But it needs to be refined and loved and cared for and nurtured and polished and stroked and guided. And okay, hold on. Getting back to this. Okay, so we've adjusted those there. Let's see what this gives us. Guess and check. Guess and check. Don't be afraid to guess and check. All right, up here to the scenes. Now let's clear that system and reestablish it. I actually don't need the palette turned on, but we'll just have it on for funsies, I guess. I think the palette has bugs, though, so it can be confusing. Actually, I don't want it on. New grammar on scrub, that's all. I'll make this toggleable or something in the future. Okay, make sure this still all produces. Okay, so yeah, we're getting a longer neck. Oh, look how far back the features are sitting from the head. All right, see? This is how you work it out. Little by little, you find the pieces, you dig it out. Okay. So back in we go. Now we want to do this as low in the chain as possible. So whenever a cousin junior gets picked, we want here fundamentally GZ, a somewhat shorter neck, and then GY, a little forward sitting. Now that might not apply to every neck, so we're going to have to learn as we go here. But I want to put that forward a little bit here. And then I want to go take a look at the junior head here, because I suspect that it's very offset. Yeah, see, look how far offset it is from its features. So I'm going to take the features and move them back toward the head. You thought I was going to do it the other way around? Oh. Sorry, that's the best I could do. On short notice. All right, come on, give me my side view. I held Alt. I held my part of the bargain down, McGarnacle. All right, let's see here. Okay, this it's time to try again. Let's pull start this mower. Come on, I checked them points. You checked them points. That's probably it. I'll take a sip of my soda pop here. It's actually just sparkling water. I can't endorse soda pop. I think it's bad for you. I think it's an example of getting people hooked on something that ain't good for them for profit. All right, let's try this again. Clear frame, new grammar on scrub. All right, here we go. Now, none of what I just did should have affected the adults. So it looks like I got some other stuff to take care of on the adults here. But let's see how it did with the kids. Okay, much better. I don't mind when they're hovering off a little bit, but if they're way off in space, it makes me sad, I guess is what I'm saying. Okay, let's scrub through and find some other kiddos. See, here's two kiddos, and they're too close together. One of the things the juniors do not have is head tilt. That's something that could be added in later. But for now, let's just tilt these two junior bros apart from one another. So this is number 4. Clear that frame scrub. Clear it on out. Clear it on out. From the frame scrub buffer, that app handler's gotta have rest. All right, rules. Cousin group. Now, let us discover them. So delicious. All right, then. Let's see. 2 juniors right here. Too close together. Cousins. No. Okay. Shibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-doo-wop-wop. Shibby-dibby-dibby-dibby-doo-wop-wop. One fine day, you're gonna want me for your... That's a little even, but we'll call it good. Okay. I probably don't even need to... I'm not sure. I'm going to stop myself. I'm going to stop myself right there. You with the mouth. Stop right there. New grammar on scrub. 3, 4. Hey, now they're working. I love it. Still a little big. That's something we could handle. Probably should just be scaled for or overall size at the cousin group level. But this isn't like outrageously too big. In fact, just a step to the right, or a jump to the right, and a step to the left, and a jump to the right. I don't remember how this goes. Put your hands on your hips and bring your knees in tight. Tight. Ha ha. Yeah, that sounds tight. Ha. Okay. Let's just render this one for fun and see what we've been missing this whole time. Ooh. A little mysterious, huh? Got this like kind of pattern of color foldies here, like almost a stained glass kind of light coming in from the right here. And this one's like got a nice highlight coming across the face to kind of balance the composition a little bit. I mean, it's not optimal, but it's pretty all right. Let's throw a different palette on here. Ooh, I like that one. Oh, I think I might have just made a new official one. You know what I'm saying? Because I like it so much. And sometimes I'm not above adjusting the camera a little bit here. Let's see here. So let's save. And then let's do a quick test. I was doing this yesterday. Yeah, we built an output script yesterday, as I recall. Maybe I can find that again and adapt it to output to a blend file so that I can just append it into another file. I don't have to lose my materials and whatnot. Because what I'd love to do is basically make a system that outputs blend files that are like ready to render. Because when I right now I do the full scale rendering more or less manually because the computer I render them on is much slower, but I can't have this one getting tied up for even 10 or 20 minutes at a time most of the time. So on the other one, they're so slow and persnickety that I just render them manually. Are these ears colliding? No, I guess they're not. They seem all right. All right, but what I do need to do is have an ability to output them. So let's see, costume cronies, pickle skin. I think this has it. I think this has the script, so we can go in there and dink around with it. Yeah, that looks right. All right, let's put this down here where you guys can see everything. All right, Chris, you be well. Have a good stream, buddy. I got to take care of some stuff. Thanks very much, bud. I appreciate it. You have a good one, bruh. All right, let's see here. What we want to do, though, okay, so this is export scene .obj, and then it's calling an obj function here, and then it's got a bunch of options and that sort of thing, and it is based on what is selected. Check existing. Use selection is true. Okay, good. All right, so let's see if there is a .blend version of that function. Let's take my glove off here. bpy dot ops dot export scene dot fbx gltf obj and x3d. Well, what if we just want to save? Well, just safe areas. All right. Well, I did my due diligence. It's time to ask the internet. By God, I'm not going to be lost when this thing is denied to me by the global elites or whatever their plan is. Hold on a second. All right. Okay. Excuse me for a second. All right. Sorry about that. That was a little more. Let's turn that down a hair. Okay. This is going to be Blender, Python, save, selected object. Now it says export. So I don't want to export. I want to save. To save the necessary objects to a separate .blend file, just select them in the main menu, choose File, Export, Save, Selected, and specify the location of the save. Excellent. All right, so this is something we are very likely to be able to track down. I'm just going to put this up here in case I need reference again. And let us see what it does in my little viewer here when I save selected. So let's see. I have the selected elements. And export, it is okay, am I not seeing it? Universal, that's USD stuff. I haven't learned that yet. Collada, Alembic, SVG, PDF, BLY. Now, then they say save selected. Oh, this is a Blender add-on. Ah, I see. So maybe it is not a feature that is included. But maybe we can look at how the add-on works and just take the stuff out of it we care about. All right. That's also a possibility for our actions forthwith. Save the blah, blah, blah. Choose file, export, save selected. Select objects will be saved in the specified file. Demonstration video, blah, 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 blah. Is this for sale? Or is it gratis? I'll pay for it. $5. Hell yeah. Well, hold on a second. Is it recent? Published 9 months ago. Okay, so it's probably, yeah. Oh, this is a red flag. It does not specify compatibility with 2.93. But see, these things are not compiled, so it's also possible I can get in here and see how it works. Okay, well, that's a possibility. I may have to just buy that. Seeing what clues I can get to its Blender Python save selected. Okay, Python. That's a very common mistake I make. All right, save selected object via pop-up file browser to new blend file. This might just be saying like, hey, homie, don't play that. Yeah, nobody's answered it. File is not supported, blah, blah, blah. Operator export file in order to save. I haven't tried this yet. Save selected. All right, well, let's get this add-on. And at the very least, we can just use it. And in the best case scenario, we can see how it's doing it. It must be, if there is a compatibility that needs to be maintained, there's not really a history here. You know, I'm thinking like, well, you know, if they've never had to update it, maybe it's super simple. You know what I mean? All right, so I've added it to the cart. I got to log in. Remember me. You guys like Futurama? Just asking. All right, let's see here. All right, now I'm logged in. I got it in my cart. Now let's see. Continue to check out. All right. Refund policy. I don't need no stinking refund. Oh, come on. Okay. Remember my card? I hope you do. I think this is the right code. See, now I need to remember my own zip. I remember to zip up, but that's about as far as it goes. It's been a hard life, but you just keep on living. All right, that all worked. Save selection. Save selected. Downloading. Okay. Now we get to put that with all the rest of the goodies. So let's go here to resources. And, come on, plugins. That's where we're headed. Blender. Blender is where I render. Okay. Hog fat. And extract to save selected. That seems like a good idea. And then it's going to have another save selected in there, but that's fine. Now, edit. Preferences. This is how you add an add-on into Blender if you're not familiar. Edit preferences, and then you navigate to the folder that it is in. You cannot paste a path down there in Blender. It don't like it. Save selected. Now, I believe we can just pick this folder. No. Now, here's the question. Oh, you know what? I should just install it from the zip file. That actually works better. I like to create those subdirectories sometimes because I'll end up with multiple versions. But in this case, it's set up to install from the zip. So just do that. You have to enable it. Sometimes it takes a moment before it pops up. Okay, file, blah, blah, blah. It has very few files. That's a good sign. So let's see what we can figure out about what it's doing. Save selected is here. All right, add-on.py, save selected.py. Let's open that up in something. Whatever it opens up in is fine with me, I guess, unless it's like a hex editor. Because that's not going to provide me with any value. Oh, it's down here. Snuck in. Snuck in through the back, boss. Okay, OS subprocess, temp file, save selected. Okay, it takes context, file path, Blender path, to world origin, cleanup, start file. Oof. So yeah, this looks to be a process here. What's it doing? It's creating a temp directory. Okay, it's creating a temporary Python path. Temporary blend path, temporary file or a file path where it's going to go. It's like, okay, it's going in here and doing some fancy footwork. Oh, you know what? I should use this. This is a nice trick. I've been replacing these manually. What this is doing is it's taking, because the in Python, in Blender, the file paths want 2 backslashes. It's once first the escape character that lets the string know, oh, the second thing is like a special character that you want me to produce in the string. And then the character or the code for the thing you want to produce, like an N, would create a new line, for example. In this case, the escape character is just another backslash, which creates backslash. And so this allows you to just replace all of the forward slashes you get from the operating system with double backslashes so that Blender knows what to do. All right, so that's a handy trick that I learned from there. It's worth it. $5. Easy, good money. Money well spent. Data blocks. So it's like grabbing... It's creating a set from all the selected objects. It is creating a something from the something, context.blend data.libraries.write. Temp. Okay. All right. So it's like caching things out and then bringing them back. So yeah, it's well worth my time to just have spent $5 on this. It would take me a while to, even if at the end of the day, it just ends up being like a few things here and a few things here. Like I saved several hours of time getting it to work for $5. That's a good value. All right, we could just use it now. Alrighty, so let's go. I guess I'm gonna have to. Maybe I'll just enable it over here too. That'll be fine. Okay. So, preferences, and we need a little add-on file. You want to come with me to the add-on file? Come on. Get into my belly. Save selected. Ooh, A just selects all. Gotta remember that about Blender. That. Come on. Switch this over. Okay, is it saying that it got okay. It didn't pop up for whatever reason, but here we go. Now it is enabled. And now what we want to do is just anytime I find something that I want to render later, rather than saving out the entire file, which is like 2.3 gigs or something like that, I can just save out the elements that I'm interested in rendering later. And let's make sure actually that we have this. We can see everything. Where are all my lights? I'm in output. Output is visible. I have lights. I'm just forgetting which button makes them visible. It's this one, right? Eventually? Yeah, there we go. Okay, so why isn't it doing it over here? Oh, maybe I have like lights or something specifically disabled. Extras? Statistics, yeah. Origins? Okay, weird. All right, so now select all those. It's all the stuff I should need. And now export save selected .blend. That sounds great. So let's go to samples, products. We do not have an official factory build. So we're going to go Cousins V9 pre-factory. Cousins V9 in dev. It's not going to be stuff that I can easily reproduce. All right. Let's go for we gonna Cousins in dev capture. You know what these guys need, by the way, I'm noticing from this view down here, they need some freckles. There needs to be some freckles that can happen in this system. All right, so capture 01. Okay, let's save that out. And now let's see how it worked. Oof, I'm seeing some like waterfalls and panning footage over waterfalls out of the corner of my eye, and it was giving me the whirly birds. All right. Now, I think we're almost done too. Yep. almost wrapped up for today. Well, that was a very productive stream, though. We got a lot done, figured out some cool stuff. You know, it worked pretty good. Now, let's see here. I need to go to, I'm in costume cronies. That's why I can't get to where I want to be. What do we got to be in here? Works of 2021. I think that, yeah, this is under grammar gremlins because I thought it was going to be a broad category and then it turned into one thing and then one thing popped up in a different. Okay, moving on. Samples, assets, products. V9 InDev. We got to open that. We got to open that guy up. Make sure we can fully find and render what we want from it. Oh, camera. We didn't output the camera, and thus we failed. Okay, so let's get that in there as well. Thus, our failure is our family's inherited shame. Oh, this looks like it's got extra stuff in it anyway. Why would it have all that stuff? Stop. Yeah, where's all this coming from? I didn't have any of that selected when I saved the file. Ugh, this isn't looking good, my friends. This is not looking good. Okay, let's make sure. Okay, that stuff is definitely what's selected. Now, let's just take a look at these settings a little bit more carefully. Let's see. It says clean up start file, move to world origin, clean startup file. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to do. I don't have the startup file in there, but okay. Well, just for historical troubleshooting purposes, I'm going to make this capture 02 and hang on to the previous error in case I need to compare the two of them. Unfortunately, we will have to leave this there. It looks, yeah, it's exactly the same size. So good news, those other scenes were adding weight to the file, and I did get rid of them, and the file is now only 876 megabytes instead of 2.3 gigs. Bad news, I paid $5 for something that doesn't work in my situation. Like, it's supposed to be save selected, right? Right? That's the whole idea, right? All right. Well, until next time, this is Benny with Verbal Processing. No, that was my old slogan. Until next time, this is Benny and Strandberg. And this is, we're going to call this the Ian Strandberg Workshop now? I don't know. I'm toying with rebranding. But that's not important right now. What's important is we're here, we're making some fun stuff, and we are learning together. So hit me up on Twitter at VoidStrummer if you want to chit-chat. And until at least, well, at definitely next Wednesday, hopefully sooner, cheers.